Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have Asamo will acquire a solar power plant. The Damerjog inaugurates its community development center. For the international scene, Congress on the future of the African petroleum sector. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister of Interior Said Nuh Hassan participated on May 19, 2022 in the first review forum of the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration is held at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The holding of this forum finds its essence in the Global Compact, also known as the Marrakesh Declaration, which decided to hold a quadrennial meeting at the highest political level in order to assess both the progress made and to identify persistent or new problems in the implementation of the Global Compact for Migration. The main objective of this first edition of the review forum was to offer all UN member states the opportunity to present their achievement, but also to identify the challenges they still face in order to come up with consensual and concrete recommendations for the next 4 years before the next forums of the same type. On this occasion, the Minister Said Nuh Hassan delivered an important speech through which he made an exhaustive overview of the main achievement of the Republic of Djibouti in this field. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble, inaugurates a new medical equipment for the pneumonia physiology hospital. Dr. Shakib Saad, welcomed by the director of the hospital, Dr. Shakib Saad, Mr. Hussein Mohammed Hussein, and the director of the IDDS, Mahdi Mohammed Jama, all the medical and administrative staff. The equipment inaugurated includes a plethysmography cabin, a sleep polygraph, and a FADA 200 devices for the diagnosis of allergies and autoimmune disease, and a portable thoracic ultrasound. This new equipment is financed by the IDDS. The acquisition of this new equipment will allow to the hospital to strengthen its analysis and diagnosis capacity, thus improve the quality of overall patient care. Dr. Ahmed Roble first thanked the IDDS and stressed that this improvement of the technical platform of Dr. Shakib Saad Hospital will benefit, he said, to all practitioners of these structures, and which represent an excellent opportunity for our patients who now have access to a state-of-the-art equipment that will allow them to make their examinations in the best conditions. For his part, the Director General of the Shakib Saad Hospital, Hussein Mohammed Hussein, thanked the Minister of Health and the Director General of IDDS for the inaugurations of these new materials, and that will strengthen and improve the care of our patients. Sheraton Hotel hosted yesterday a consultation meeting between the different ministries of the Djibouti on the contingency plan developed by the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity in partnership with UNICEF. The elaborations of this contingency plan comes at the right times, given that Djibouti has been undergoing a succession of exogenous shocks of great impact on our economy and our populations in recent years. As a proof, during this year alone, the country has accumulated the effects of the global pandemic, the recurrent drought in the Horn of Africa, which still persists, and significantly the devastating locust invasions in rural areas, the political tensions of the neighboring countries impacting our budgetary revenue, as well as the disruptions of the supply chains, and recently inflations of the prices of basic commodities caused by Ukrainian crisis, faced with the resurgence of these exogenous shocks, which will continue to increase in the year to come. The Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity has undertaken the difficulties the Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity undertaking the difficult task of developing a contingency plan, which is intended to be a management process that facilitates the analysis of the impact of potential crisis in order to establish a mode of actions in advance and thus allow for a timely response of the crisis. The Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity wished to pay tribute to all those who contribute to the development of this national contingency plan. Asamo will be equipped with a solar power plant with a capacity of more than 114 kilowatt hours, or more than double what is currently installed in Ali Adde, accompanied by a strong delegation. The Minister of Energy, Younes Ali Geddi, went yesterday in the locality of Asamo under the prefecture of Ali Sabih to proceed to the ceremony of laying the stone of the future solar power plant. Upon his arrival at the site of the future solar power plant, the minister and his delegation were welcomed by the authorities of the region, including the prefect of the region, the acting prefect of the region, Mohammed Hamad Abbas, the president of the regional council, Sharmake Hassan Alale, and the parliamentarian of the region, as well as the inhabitant who came massively. The minister then gave himself to a huge crowd to greet one by one the inhabitant. After this huge crowd, both the Minister of Energy, Younes Ali Geddi, accompanied by his close collaborator, proceeded to the laying of the stone of the solar power plant that officially launched the construction work. The Ministry of Energy has set its objectives and priority access to energy for all in rural areas. The department plans to electrify several villages, including Asamo, the locality of the Ali Sabih region, and very famous for its agriculture, will soon be equipped with a solar power plant with a capacity of more than 114 kilowatt per hour, which is more than double what is currently installed in Ali Adde. This will strongly contribute to the socio-economic development, the conservation of the medical product, education and trade of the villagers who will finally be able to preserve their agriculture, dairy and other products in good conditions of the conservation. In closing the speech, the Minister of Energy, Younes Ali Geddi, said he was very touched by the welcome given to him and his delegation. He also recalled that Asamo will become the artistic, tourist and agricultural regions of the country. Minister Younes Ali Geddi reaffirmed his firm availability to work together for the development of this locality. The minister insisted that the villagers will ensure the sustainability of the plant, while indicating that people from the village will be recruited to preserve the plant in the year to come. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Asowe, inaugurated the ceremony of a new CDC in Damerjog, accompanied by strong delegations. The minister was warmly welcomed by the population of this locality. The event was attended by the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hibo Mumin Asowe, the Mayor of the Djibouti City, Said Daoud Hassan, and the President of the Regional Council, Almi Bouh Goudade, the sub-prefect of Damerjog, Abdushakur Noor, and the president, the dean of the artists, Aden Farah Samatar, local elected officials, executive of the Ministry of Cultures, officials of the CDC, of the capital and interior regions, noble and elders, several members of the community and youth of the city of the regions of Arta. After the traditional ribbon cutting by the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hibo Mumin Asowe, there was a guided towers of the premises of the structure equipped with all the necessary facilities. In his speech, the sub-prefect of the region of Damerjog said he was satisfied with the inaugurations of the CDC for this city that was waiting for a long time, thanking the President of the Republic and his government. For his part, the President of the Regional Council of Arta welcomed this third CDC for the region of Arta and praised the work done by the Department of Youth, whose willingness is unwavering in order to provide young people in the region with the necessary infrastructure for their development. He urged the youth and community present on the site to take care of these platforms of social integration. For his part, the mayor of Djibouti City, Said Daoud, said he was honored to participate in the inaugurations of a CDC for the benefit of Damerjog people and call on the peoples of the region to make good use of this well-equipped infrastructure. For her part, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hibo Mumin Asowe, first thanked the people of Damerjog for their warm welcomes and fraternal welcomes. The Minister indicated that the objective of her department is to offer young people, in accordance with the visions of the President of the Republic, the means to blossom through the activities organized in the CDC. The place of the report of the Technical and Tactical Training Center, CITA, built within the camp Sheikh Usman, hosted today an end of the training ceremony for the benefit of 103 trainees who underwent specific trainings. This is a technical certificate of the first degree in the specialty tank commanders specific to the armored regiment, a technical certificate elementary for the driving of light vehicle, and a technical certificate elementary driving instructors and assistant fitter in English languages. This ceremony was presided by General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. A total of 4 specialties organized in a centralized format were honored this day. The ceremony was also attended by General Tahiru Ali Muhammad, Chief of the Defense Staff, Colonel Major Muhammad Qayad Gele, the Deputy Chief of the Defense Staff, Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, the Acting Director General of the National Police, the Colonel Wais Omar Bogore, Commander of the Coast Guard, and the highest officials of the Djiboutian Armed Forces. On his arrival, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, accompanied by General Tahir Ali Muhammad, was welcomed by Colonel Dahir Hassan Abadi, the commander of the Armored Regiment. Then CMGA carried out the review of the troops composed of the sections of the honor of the female personnel of the armed forces to return the honors and the trainings of the force professional trainings. This training, the first technical trainings, technical training cycle for the year 2022 lasted from 5 to 6 months each and allowed it to consolidate the achievement of the trainees and further improve their profession of the specialists through the acquisitions of new knowledge. The ceremony began with the reading of some verses of the Holy Quran by Second Lieutenant Abdul Qadir Ali Dubada, then Colonel Ali Ilmi Buha, head of the training office, took the floor to inform the audience about the courses. It's physiognomy, and the objective is south here is General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, addressed the trainees who have completed their training. In his speech, General Zakaria stressed that today this ceremony has a special aspect because it includes four different specialties trainings, all administered by Djiboutian trainers. This goes hand in hand with the new doctrine that will be applied from this year in all corps and regiment of the armed forces. This new doctrine is based on the directives of the President of the Republic, head of government, and supreme commanders of the armed forces, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, who said, I promise before God that everyone will receive what he deserves. As a Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, it is my duty to judge the efforts of each one through his skills and to encourage him to assert himself further. Thus, the defense and security forces must ensure that they perform their duties wherever they are. Until now, the Egyptian army has always carried high the national flag. Special attention is of the two Egyptian battalions deployed in Somalia, who are brilliantly carried out their missions. They are our ambassador and represent our countries in the best way. I urge you to preserve the unity and cohesion within the Djiboutian armed forces. It is essential to convey the messages wherever the Djiboutian soldiers is deployed. At the end of the speeches, Lieutenant Abdurrahim Mohammed Aden started to proclaim the long-awaited results. Thus, the ceremony was an opportunity to reward the winners who have distinguished themselves during the trainings. Indeed, the excellent results obtained testifies to the quality of the instructions provided by the instructor, who on the one hand and the assiduity of the trainees who have shown professional maturity on the other hand. In view of the satisfactory results, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim has during the ceremony awarded prizes to the first three trainees of each discipline as merit. Also, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim did not fail to congratulate the Djiboutian military instructors for the quality of the instructions given. It should be noted that these different specialized technical trainings were all given by the military instructors of the armed forces. The ceremony ended around a meal in a good atmosphere. The trainees thanked the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces for the unconditional support he shows on a daily basis in order to have and perpetuate a professional and competent army able to face any challenges. They offered to the military command present, showing their gratitude. The family closed the ceremony. On the sidelines of the ceremony, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim inaugurated the recently built troop room for the trainees following their trainings at Sita. This accommodation space was named after the late Colonel Muhammad Gadditu Muhammad, who died in 2018 after a long illness. The late colonel was unit commander of the Sita centers in charge of monitoring and proper conduct of technical trainings. This space includes three large troop rooms with a capacity of 15 soldiers each and a large room for executives. The Djibouti Swimming Federation, through the Regional Swimming League, organized yesterday its first swimming competition in free water, which is an endurance competition. This first experience was such a success, both in terms of technical organization and the massive participation of the youth of Tajura, organized in school teams. The College of Tajura and the two high school and primary schools. So this success is due to the Regional League of the Tajoras region and the Djiboutian Swimming Federation, Mr. Ali Adabo and Makki Hamad Makki and his technicians. This day has seen especially the brilliant victories of the young junior and national hope Hamad Hussein Barakat. A special mentions to Burhan Ali Gadile, General Manager of Chab Company of Transit, which has provided substantial support to the use of Tajura in the practice of swimming and this day. Once again, the security and defense forces of the Dakhel region is under the operational command of Colonel Ibrahim Yusuf Dabarra. The Riyadh commanders intercept today a very large quantity of contraband cat between Bandra, Sankal, and Mulud. This seizure is estimated at over 1,800,000 Djiboutian francs. The Riyadh regiment regularly patrols all the border posts in the Dakhel district day and night. Colonel Ibrahim Yusuf once again congratulated the Riyadh regiment, the Customs Brigade, and other security forces, police, gendarmerie, to their continuous effort to ensure the security of the regions and to fight against all forms of smuggling that harms our economy. For the international scene, Africa's leading oil producers and exporters meet in the Angolan capital, Luanda. They are looking for solutions to increase investment in the oil sectors and energy transition. The lack of investment in the African oil and gas sector in recent years has led to a sharp decline in productions in March. Angola and Nigeria, according to OPEC data, accounted for almost half of the oil supply deficit on the world market. However, Nigeria assures us that the consequences of political tensions between Russia and Ukraine have not affected the local industry. One of the conclusions that emerged from the conference was that the moment the major oil producing countries in Africa are not producing enough to meet the demand resulting from the Russian oil and gas embargo, but they admit there is a greater investors' interest in the oil and gas sectors in Africa. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.